So this is the recap of what we're working with our GameStop play. I am late to the charts, by the way. I see that we kind of pushed down, and we're probably looking at about 60, maybe like 60, 61% that we were up, but I got to the charts late. So we are going to watch this play. I have my reasons for why we're going to stay in it. And once we close the play today, I am going to kind of go over the reasons why. But we are up, which is good. Okay. And so there are some indications here that we can let this thing ride down a little bit more. We can hit that 50% mark. But if there are any indications that it is time for us to ride out, then I'm going to go ahead and get out. But as of right now, I'm confident that we're going to continue to push down. And so we're going to look at that. And then once we exit, we'll recap. Guys, so we have officially exited our GameStop play. Now, let's look at the charts because first off, like I said, I got to the charts late this morning. Okay. Now, before I went to sleep, before I activated my moo gown last night, I mapped out two levels that I was looking at us to go to, or depending on what happened in pre-market and if that 50 and that 200 EMA crossed. Okay. So as you guys see here, okay, let's go over here at 9:40 this morning. Let's go back over to 9:30. Right up in, okay, so let's do 9:35, okay? So as you guys can see here, we hadn't fully crossed yet, but I said that if we cross on that 50 and that 200, that will just give us some solid indication that we can continue to ride this thing down. Now, as you guys can see, I was not on the charts during all of this taking place, okay? Because when we got down here, I probably would have closed here because as you guys can see, the levels that I mapped out, I said if we get below this 2643 level, then we could probably see this next level of 2601 because breaking below that support level would pretty much open the door for them to test this 2601. You push down to 2606, okay? Early this morning at what time was this? This was around 10:20. Okay. I didn't get to the charts until this one right here was about finished and this one started forming. And seeing that take place, I said, as long as we can hold below this, because by then this 50 had them crossed over this 200 EMA. So I said, okay, we could probably still hold this thing and work its way down unless there would be some other indication. So this right here, pretty much sideways chop, it moved. We got back below this 2632 level right here, and we begin to push back down. Now, as long as my RSI remains under 50, then I can continue to kind of let that thing run a little bit. And what happens when you walk away from the damn chart, y'all? I was gone for about all of maybe like, well, not gone, but I left out for about 10, 15 minutes. And this shit pushed all the way back up. And I said, as long as we stay below this, we're good. We can still continue to push down. But as you guys can see, we come down here to this RSI. It pushed up to what, 51, about 54 up in here. And then once we broke back below this level right here at this 2632, I said we will more than likely retest this level and then we're going to get out. Now you guys see here that I probably could have stayed in, but we're not going in with that mindset, okay? That we came to this next level that I mapped out last night, which was 25.75, and we got a bounce here, and at this very moment it's pushing back up, but we are out of that place. So let's look at how, like, where we got in, what time we got in, how much we paid. Okay, so let's go here. So we got in yesterday on April 15th at 10:47 for $94 at a 27.5 put. Okay, and that was with a April 17th expiration, which is this Friday. Okay, we paid $94 even. We started this thing off with 100, but we got in with 94 on our very first play. And we just sold at 146 today, which is the 16th, and we sold it at, let's go back, for $150 even. Okay, so that is a total percent return of, let me go back to, it's 54.26%. That is a damn good, simple, very simple play, especially with it being such a slow burn play. We were up 18% yesterday once the markets closed, and we have been able to close that play up 54%. So we have went from $100 starting to $155.90 to use in our next play. That is just a recap for our GameStop play. This is the recap for episode 1, and we will be getting ready for episode 2, and I will see you guys over there.